Alright, so what we're going to do now is create a custom template for our WordPress installation on DreamHost. And we are going to use this fantastic program called Artisteer. Absolutely encourage you, especially if you aren't that familiar with manually coding HTML and JavaScript and CSS and all of that. I totally encourage you to pick up a copy of Artisteer. So what we're going to do is just launch Artisteer 2, and they're on the verge of, the company that makes Artisteer is on the verge of actually creating Artisteer version 3, which promises to have tons of improvements. Really looking forward to that. So this is the first screen you get to in Artisteer, and as you can see, you can create a theme for WordPress or Joomla or Drupal, or you can just create a standard HTML template, or if you're into .NET, you can also do an ASP.NET application framework or template with this program. But what we've done is installed WordPress, so we'll go ahead and create a WordPress theme. So just click on the create button. This is the default theme that it comes up with every time you launch the application. And, you know, it's pretty straightforward. Up here you have all of your menus, so ideas just sort of lets Artisteer suggest various things. So you can just say suggest an idea, and what Artisteer will do is just create a random header, create a random background, create a random layout. So this one's like 3 columns. Let's try it again. I mean, there's probably a billion different combinations of header and layout and color combination. And you can let Artisteer suggest, you know, just the layout, for example, and keep the color scheme, or just suggest a background, etc. Over here we have colors and fonts. And nice thing about Artisteer is that you can choose a color theme. So if you're a little colorblind like I am, you can choose a theme or color theme that has colors that work well together. You know, I tend to stay over in this blue area over here, but you know, there's all kinds of different color sets that look really nice, especially for web development. Layout, so you can choose your page layout, so menu and header and how many columns you want, just a single column, 2 columns, or 3 columns. And you can change the position of those as well. Background, a whole bunch of things you can do with a background. You can choose a background from one of their pre-selected backgrounds. The sheet, you can choose if you want rounded corners, or you want it up on the aligned with the top, or you want a margin up on the top with rounded corners. Does it all for you. In the header, same thing. You can modify the header graphic, slogan, put an image on there, and I'm going to be showing you all this as I develop the website you're actually on right now. Buttons, footer, so all these things and more Artisteer does. And then when you're ready, what you do is you just export. We're exporting it to WordPress, and there's some options there as well. Okay, so let's start. Excuse me. Okay, so let's start here. What I'd like to do is first start off at the colors and fonts and choose our color palette. I like the Skyline. I think it's a nice soft color palette that works really well. And it looks like the font's already using maybe Arial or Verdana. No, it's not. We're going to choose here. We're just going to go with a standard Arial font set. Nice and crisp, great for web viewing. All right, now let's do the layout. For this particular website, I just want to do a header and menu. So a header up top and a menu bar below. This is what the menu bar looks like now. This is what the header looks like. So that's the layout, pretty straightforward. Background. So my favorite kind of background is, or for this particular site, keeping it simple, a nice simple stripe across the top, in line with the size of our header, and a different stripe for the rest of the background below. And that's that for the background, for now anyways. What we're going to do is go with a nice shadowed let's try this one here. There we go. So we have a little bit of a shadow in behind the page, making it look like it's popping out a little bit. What we're going to do is change that width. 900 pixels seems to be pretty good. That's generally what I choose for a centered sheet like this. The header now, what we're going to do is choose no photo, keeping it simple, no glare, and we are going to make the color white and no gradient. So it's just like that, plain Jane almost. And let's put in the headline and slogan text. So just like that, we put in the header and the slogan text. And let's change the font here. Make that black first of all. Make this black as well. And let's change the font size. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Not too big. Why don't we bold it too while we're at it? Oh, it's already bolded. Okay. And let's align this left. All right. And what we're going to do is change the height of the, well, before we do that, let's import a picture here. And I got this particular picture from iStockPhoto.com. And iStockPhoto has a lot of great pictures at a relatively decent price, and you can use them for your websites or whatever you want to use them for within the terms of use, of course. And I thought this picture was pretty good. When you think automated, what do you think of? I know one of the things I thought of was an assembly line. And here we have sort of like an assembly line of packages. No, it's not really called an assembly line, but that's what we'll call it. And what we're going to do here, it doesn't really look right the way it is, so let's just flip that around. Change the position of this to be like that. And let's change the position of this to be over here, and let's zoom it in a bit. Let's zoom in even a bit more. Okay. And why don't we just change the height from 150 to 175. Nice. I'm liking the way this is looking here. There we go. I think that'll work. All right. Now, there's no real separation between our menu here and our header. So once we get over to the menu tab, well, first of all, let's choose a nicer menu than that. That's kind of crap. We'll go with the round button look. There we go. Nice. I like how that's looking. Okay. Yeah, so this is our website so far. I don't want this right-hand list here. This page is going to be straightforward, very simple. Read it top to bottom. I don't want anything distracting on the sides. So let's go back to the layout here. Choose columns. We're just going to do one single column. Okay, let's go over to articles. Let's just click this and see what happens. You know what? That's not too bad. You know what? I think this is one we're gonna go with here. You know what? I mean, at this point, the page could maybe use a little bit of tweaking here and there, and you can play around with the different kinds of buttons. You can change the blocks, change what a quote would look like. Even you can change the footer. You know, we have an RSS button here. We don't need an RSS button on this page. No icon. Done. Now all of these menu items and whatnot, they actually get modified in WordPress. Same thing with all these articles and the titles and everything. You don't actually see this when you export it to WordPress, but when you're in WordPress, you get to add all of this stuff. And you know, I think we're at the point now where let's export this into our WordPress installation. So export WordPress theme. Let's call it automated web design. And we'll export it as zip archive. And the nice thing about doing that is that when we can actually import this zip archive right into WordPress from the WordPress administration interface. Don't even need to like SCP or FTP or SFTP into our DreamHost account in order to do that. So let's cancel out of that. Let's put it right on the desktop. And done. So let's go into our WordPress installation here. All right, so if you remember, this is the way our website looked like. Now, when you get to your website and you want to go to the administration page, it's just your website /wp-admin. Now, if you're a little more advanced, you can modify this, but by default, that's where it is, and likely where most people put their administration for the WordPress installation. And if you recall, our user ID was admin. It looks like I remembered my password here, which was nice because I've forgotten it. And there we are. So let's go to our appearance tab over here, click on themes, and we are going to install themes. Now this is just incredibly slick, so just watch what we do here. Click on the upload, so install themes, upload. Let's browse for this bad boy. Automated web design zip, open, install now. Installed successfully. Activate. And look at that. Theme has been activated. Let's check out our page, see what it looks like. Holy smokes, automatedwebdesign.com has just gotten a new fresh breath of air. So what we can do now, as you would perhaps any WordPress site when you're setting up, the first thing you might want to do is trash the Hello World article. And I'm not going to go into the rest of the WordPress. There's a lot of documentation out there how to then use WordPress, but the rest will probably be boring. You can see the site now. You're on the site. All the rest is done. I mean, to get from this point to what you see now, just a matter of typing out the content and tweaking it a little bit. So thanks for watching all the videos. Like I said, grab a copy of Artisteer. DreamHost rocks as a web host. Those two things can get you off the ground relatively inexpensively in no time at all. So thanks for watching Automated Web Design. Cheers.